Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to episode 11 of Devouring Swarm. So before I get going, I just wanted to mention something, which is that if you don't know what's going on in this series, it's because this is definitely not a tutorial series. And if you have an interest in Stellaris and learning about this beautiful 4X game, you really ought to watch the Megacorp series that I had, because I go over gameplay mechanics very carefully there, whereas I'm not doing that so much here. So I'm turning Sol, which the stupid primitive humans turned into a tomb world, back into a tropical world. One of the questions I had, which was, why have I not colonized more? And the answer for that is basically, it would sort of cripple me, more or less. So the Empire Sprawl here is a penalty about how big you get. And you know what? Yeah, screw it. I'm going to start colonizing again. Now, there is also a penalty. The further you colonize from your homeworld, the larger the penalty. So I'm going to want to pick large worlds that are close. Padrag Val here is probably the chief contender, and Sol will be when it terraforms. So let's get a colony ship out here and get my little modelings going. Checking my species, we can delete this old template. So every one of my people are now rapid breeders, traditional, communal, very strong. Was that the template I was after? No, it wasn't, was it? Did I just delete the template I was after? Yes.
We have assimilated knowledge.
Quite possibly I did. We'll see how that works out. Maybe it will auto... I've never had this issue before where I delete the template in progress, but I suppose I'm about to figure out what happens when that happens.
Our construction is complete.
Alright, so Fen is struggling keeping up with enough available jobs for its workforce. At some point, I can turn off population spread. We had, at the end of last episode, wiped out the last of that Marauder group, so I'm going to start working towards this one. And then this swarm here is just staging for an invasion.
Technology conceived.
Fusion missiles. Nope, we actually got that and the autocannons through analyzing debris. The bastion here is no longer needed, as the threat there is gone.
Our construction is complete.
So I'll remove it. The colony ship is ready to go to Padrag Val. So let's go ahead and colonize it. And now the answer about the species adaptation. Yes, alright, there we go. It's fine. It just auto-generated a new template. So now all of them are fertile, erudite, traditional, and communal. Which means that they take up a lot less housing. So if I check on my housing requirements, as you can see, Swarming Ma was like tapped out for housing, and now not at all. Swarming Ma is tapped out, however, for jobs. So I'm going to move my unemployed and a few extra people over. Now, because I'm fertile, I'm going to have like sort of an explosion of population growth. So actually colonizing some new planets is not the worst idea.
We have assimilated knowledge.
Wow, my science ships are really assimilating a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of debris here. Oh, and there's a really tough anomaly here. That's sort of unusual. Alright, so my swarm is just about reinforced. We're waiting on one Corvette, which is really not that big of a deal. And let's go for research speed. That will help to offset my giant Empire Sprawl. Now, the one way to combat the Empire Sprawl is just to add a lot of tradition and science buildings. So I can have colonies focus on that. So Fen, for instance, has focused on that. They have a lot of research labs here.
Our construction is complete.
Alright, so here we go. This is another Marauders homeworld. And we're here to swarm the hell out of them. I'm not even going to watch that fight, because there's really not anything for me to do. I'd rather manage my swarm. I'm going to check up on my bastions, make sure that they're all required. Yeah, I'll leave that one. This one is not going to be needed anymore, because they're going bye-bye. So might as well save myself the cost.
Conceived.
Clone army is done. Cool. Leader enhancements. Why not? Alright. I'll watch a little bit of the fight as long as there's not something else for me to do. I'm totally swarm eating them here. If you check, my null beams are just melting their shields at 500% efficiency. And then the plasma cannons are just ripping through the hull at
We have assimilated knowledge.
crazy high efficiency too. Alright, so what I'm going to do is actually just get that one debris, then go down here, research this debris, and survey this system. I don't want this Lazavoda to start moving north because I'm slow at surveying. Although if they did do that, I could just go to war and take it from them, I suppose. Alright, so this pirate homeworld, or whatever you can call it, is fallen. And before I roll these guys out, I'm going to redesign that fleet once again. I am researching living metal, and Eternal Horizon has some living metal, so that will be pretty good.
A hostile hive. We have assimilated knowledge. Crushing a hostile hive. Crushing a hostile hive.
So, one of the questions I got about Stellaris, and I'm going to pause for a minute so I can explain this. Now, like I said, if you are really new to Stellaris, you should probably go watch the Megacorp series. But Sumo LP asked me to explain why I'm not building certain objects. So if I take Unar Prime, for instance, and let's do a quick analyzation here. My deviancy, which is crime, is 0. So I don't need any anti-crime buildings. My population, my housing, I have 11 empty spaces, so I don't need any housing districts. So there are 4 types of districts for normal worlds. There's housing, there's power, there's minerals, and there's food. The power, minerals, and food are all interchangeable, but if you specialize a world, like if you fill up a world like Unar here, with the majority of them being generator districts, it becomes a generator world, which gives me even more power on top of that. So there is a benefit to specializing world types. So then, basically, what I do to manage my worlds is I take a look to see how much housing I have, because homelessness causes crime, how many jobs I have available, because unemployment causes crime, and then how many amenities I have, because high amenities reduces crime and makes people happy, which is calculated in stability. So higher stability allows me to be more productive. So you want available jobs, you want available housing, but not too much. So the reason why I haven't used this building slot, I already have empty job slots, so adding a building to this world wouldn't really benefit me. It would just be a building with no one employed there, because I already have open available jobs. So that's why some of these worlds, like Fen Habanis, I have 3 available jobs. Ooh, we are actually getting some deviancy here, though, so let me pause just a moment. And see about the deviancy. So deviancy I can reduce from a sentinel post. So I'll build one of those. Yeah. But yeah, some of these worlds here, like this one, I have only 2 available jobs, so I can build another generator district. Here I am all set. I have plenty of jobs. My amenities are a little low, but for a new world, they're fine. You know, and that's sort of how I analyze these things at a glance really quickly. Alright, now I've got advanced, let's go to the ship designer. I have the advanced combat computers. So let's go and use that. And then I don't have the tier 5 shields yet, or better afterburners. So yeah, I've redesigned that. And let's go upgrade the fleet at Serban. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to repair the fleet.
We have assimilated knowledge.
I'll upgrade this fleet, though.
Technology conceived.
I'd like to finish off those Marauders. Let's see. Capacity boosters are fine. This allows my leaders to level up higher levels and live a little bit longer. So another thing to note is that, you know what? I'm not even going to repair. I'm just going to go straight to the last of the Marauders there.
Our construction is complete.
I'm going to leave my construction ship here so that I can utilize the living metal as soon as I acquire it.
Conceived.
And the really difficult anomaly there was also living metal, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I got the living metal research done a little bit early, I think, because I discovered that, so that's cool. So now we'll go get that, and that is a rare resource that auto-repairs my hulls. So if I have a lack of jobs, it will show up here, like unemployed pops like that. Actually, let's sell off some food because we've maxed out on that, and terraform some worlds with that money we just made. Our colony ship is still moving to Podrog. That's kind of funny. Very loud music going on here. Hope you all don't mind. So I'm not going to be able to colonize this system as it's right next to military isolationists.
Assimilated knowledge.
So here's the last of this Marauder group. I'm going to lose some ships, but not very many at all. And they're done. End of the Belmacosa.
Our construction is
Let's go upgrade this fleet and reinforce them. I also now have living metal. So if I check my rare resources here, I have living metal, which should allow me to recover. Yeah, as you can see, my armor and hull points are auto-regenerating now.
We have assimilated knowledge.
Cool.
We have surveyed the system.
I'm kind of annoyed that the Lavacosa or whatever their Lazavada are surveying all these worlds because it makes it really difficult for me. Well, if they survey it first, it means any anomalies that there are to be found are going to be found by them, not me. Are there any more Marauders left?
We have claimed a new nest.
I don't think so. Let's see. I just colonized something. So that was Podrog Val. Just got started to be colonized. Alright, my Swarmer fleet is going to upgrade. And then I'm going to start to capture all this territory here, like I've been doing over here. I'm just spreading for spreading's sake at this point. There we go. Now it's surveyed. Alright, I want to survey this system first, and then survey the rest. There is some high deviancy on Fedima Prime. That's really not a surprise. Because this is my food world, which has a crazy amount of undesirables. There's not really anything for me to do about this. I just have to, you know, allow it to be a giant penal colony, basically. Or food processing penal colony? I don't know, it's complicated. Now, I could also go for the Sonic Entity. That would be a good call with my primary fleet once they upgrade. I have the Leviathans DLC installed, which adds in, like, super strong enemies, I guess is the best way to describe it. And one of them live there. And for whatever reason, I've decided to make it my goal to slowly terraform the whole galaxy to fit my population, even if I'm not actually going to colonize it. So I just have the money to do it, and no one can stop me. Alright, so these Serbanians are the swarm here. Yep, there they go. Now they're getting upgraded. And this will make them a little bit stronger, which is great. Do I have other weapons tech in the pipe? No, I don't. So I'm not likely to have to re-upgrade that fleet anytime soon. And this fleet is still traveling... Ooh, boy. They have a long way to go. They're traveling so far. Oh my god, they're going to Serban?
We have found an anomaly.
Why would they do that? Alright, I'm gonna go to Mostar.
Our swarm is strengthened.
Alright, now time to take on the Sonic Entity. I thought I had a shipyard. Yeah, Neckar's right there. Why are you guys going the long way?
Conceived.
There we go. I don't know what happened, but they decided to go ridiculously far for no reason. Alright, let's get a Ascension Theory for a freebie Ascension perk once that's done researching. You only get one of those. So let's get our token one now.
Technology conceived.
Ooh, we have enough L-Gate insight to open the L-Gate. So that's pretty cool. Let's research how to activate the L-Gate. And then we can open up the pocket galaxy that is through the L-Gate. Which is exciting, because that will give me... the pocket galaxy will pop up here. That will give me a considerable research edge once I claim it for myself. I'm not going to activate the L-Gate until I'm absolutely ready to move on it, though. Because I don't want my naughty neighbors to warp in. Because they... Oh, nope, never mind. That just changed hands.
We have surveyed the system.
Jabadnid, or whatever they're called, own one L-Gate.
Construction is complete.
And once I open it, everyone can go through. It's not restricted to the people that have activated it. Sort of like, yeah. I don't want them all flooding in. Alright, we still need some jobs here. Let's see. Cloning vats now. I don't really need maintenance. I'll do more research.
We have surveyed the system.
Alright, so this is the homeworld of one of the Raiders, Marauders, which is why it is so absolutely resource rich. And that's true of all of the Marauder home worlds. I don't want to call them worlds, they're not worlds, but home tiles or whatever. Sectors. Solar systems, whatever. They're all super resource rich. Alright, at this point, I don't have any more capacity for population on my home planet. Now, I could just keep populating it and then sending the population elsewhere, but that's more micromanagement than I find worth. So what I'm going to do is, oh, you know, I don't even want a hive warden here. Let's replace this with, we have one, we don't even have a sentinel post here. We'll replace it with a sentinel post. That will also remove some housing, some excess housing. Actually, there we go. I can actually switch my districts around to allow for a bit more pop growth on my home planet. Because I had a lot of available housing, but not a lot of available jobs, so I'm going to switch my districts to have less housing and more jobs.
Our construction is complete.
I'm just going to fill the rest of this up with research, maybe one at a time. We are really swallowing the galaxy here. There's no two ways about it.
Our construction is complete. Our swarm is strengthened.
Okay, so this base swarm is upgraded.
Technology conceived.
Impulse thrusters would be really nice. Hangar Bay would be really nice too. I'm going to go Hangar Bay because it fits the role-playing style of swarmers. Even though I, truth be told, would prefer the impulse
Our
thrusters.
construction is complete.
I'm just jumping around, claiming stuff. Alright, here's the psionic entity. Posing more of a threat than any of the other enemies I've fought. And we've killed it.
Our construction is complete. Our construction is complete.
What's next? I think swallowing up some enemies. So I'm going to prepare for war here. Now, the fertile trait that I instilled into my population is much the cause of my current population boom. I'm okay with this. I'm just pointing it out that it's hard to keep up as a result. God, there's so much ambient noise outside. I apologize if it's bleeding through the microphone.
Technology conceived.
Alright. Terraforming you. And I researched the Hangar Bay. I think the obvious one here... Ooh. Might be Citadel. Let's get those Titans out. One Titan with a lot of swarmers would be pretty fun. And selling off some food. Why I'm making everything oh, wow. We don't even, oh, because these are all Tomb Worlds. Yeah, they're a bit pricier to terraform. Ooh, my admiral died. My chief admiral died. We'll replace him with the secondary admiral. And then the secondary admiral, we will hire a new one. 13-year-old. Like Ender's Game, right? Terraforming candidate discovered. So I can, if I wanted to, terraform this planet at Ophel. It's costly. But I don't think money matters to me that much. So this fleet here doesn't really have an army attached. So what I'm going to start to do, let's see, is recruit a bunch of Gene warriors, all that I could afford.
Technology conceived.
The L gates are ready to open. Let's go with 0 point before we get hyper shields. If the L gates are ready to open, I'm going to go to the Termeku system here with my main fleet. And then
We have surveyed the system.
we'll pop that baby open. I'm going to need probably another science ship. So at Mostar here, let's go ahead and crank a science ship out. Pretty much all worlds now are,
Our construction is complete.
not all, but the vast majority of these worlds are now tropical.
Soonest is born.
That's how powerful my economy is. I've been able to sort of terraform the galaxy. You need a governor. Let's give you a... I don't know. An agrarian governor. Oh, pausing for a moment. I just found another Leviathan at Cadv, or whatever it's called. It was hiding behind the Marauders' territory. So I'm going to try to flee from it. And it's good to know it's there, so that I can kill that one too. Take it down, Leviathans. Generally, when you take down a Leviathan, not all Leviathans, but a lot of them provide you some sort of big boon and benefit doing it, so it's worth to do. We have... Let's get exotic gases as fuel. I need to expend my... Oh, wow, we're out of jobs here, too. Well... Generator district. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? To make more energy credits. So Padrak Vol has a lot of capacity for energy, so we'll have that be another generator world. The scientist is all set. I don't really care who we slap in. Someone that has meticulous would be good. And we'll send the scientist down to Termeku Black Hole to open it up now that our chief fleet, our first swarm, is sitting on Termeku. And any other nation that comes into the L-Gate to try to capitalize on whatever science is inside the L-Gate, I'm going to immediately murder the hell out of them. I'll go to war with anyone that threatens my precious... Makes me sound like Gollum. My precious L-Gate systems.
Our construction is complete. We have found an anomaly.
Alright. So we are slowly swallowing up all available territory. It's slow, like I said, but as you can see, the Ma here. Let's go to diplomatic mode. I am easily half of the galaxy now. Easily. Alright, so our main fleet is sitting at the L-Gate here. Ready to swarm into it as soon as we need to. And then I have another fleet here standing at the ready to assist if need be. And I'm going to set the this is their home base. Probability conundrum. Sure, I'll investigate it. Where is that? Let's go to situation log. And what else? The activate the L-gate is available. I'm already sending a scientist to do that.
Our special project is complete. A war breaks out.
We are fast running out of jobs here. Someone is warring with someone else. If I look at the victory conditions here, I am about halfway to the Fallen Empire strength, and I am massively dwarfing everyone else. We just got the research for an additional Ascension perk. I'm going to get Energy Siphon just because it's a low-hanging fruit and easy for me to get. So if we wanted another Ascension perk, Hive Worlds would be pretty cool. Yeah. Hive Worlds would be pretty cool. Ideally, I'd like to get Master Building, but we don't have Mega Engineering yet. So let's go Hive Worlds. Let's start hiving up our worlds here. So that allows us to terraform up a bit. Let's see. So a Hive World. I'm going to need to get the research to be able to terraform worlds while I live on it, though. I don't have that research yet, but that will be next. So that is ecological adaptation. So once that's done, I can start hive worlding up the worlds I live on, which means I should start massing up energy credits, because it's going to be expansive. My scientist is almost at Meku Black Hole, but alas, I am just about out of time for this episode. So if you have any feedback for me, drop me a line. If you've liked this, like, subscribe. I know Stellaris isn't the most popular series, but I enjoy playing it. I'm pretty experienced at Stellaris. If you have any questions, speaking of which, I'm more than happy to answer the what, why, and where of whatever sort of questions that you have. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I hope you tune in next time. Adios, everybody.